All right, so day one. Now we're going to do this a little bit differently. It says find the measure of each angle, and what it wants you to do is perhaps with a protractor and find the measure of each angle, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different, but it actually is going to help with where we're going. So what I'd like you to do is we're going to work with the triangle on the right side. So I want you to take your straight edge, and I want you to draw a nice straight line that is pretty much parallel to the base, like so. To draw a straight line that's parallel to the base of that triangle. Just do your best to make sure it looks parallel. And then to make sure we know it's parallel, we're going to draw a little triangle here and a little triangle here. And we're going to say those two lines are parallel. Okay? And then we're going to number our angles 1, 2, and 3. Now, based on what we've just done with parallel lines, look at angle 2 down here. If I look at this line as a transversal, angle 2 is also right there, right? Think about it. It's an alternate interior angle. Those two angles are alternate sides of the transversal, and they're both interior of the two parallel lines. So angle 2 and angle 2 are equal. Which consequently, if I look at this line over here, this is a transversal, which makes angle 3 also there. Now, if you look at 1, 2, and 3, well, looky here. Look what they form. Angles 1, 2, and 3 add up to 180 degrees, forming a straight line. All three angles are supplementary. They add up to 180. Well, let's think about it. If those three angles add up to 180, and angle 2 is the same as angle 2, and angle 3 is the same as angle 3, those angles 1, 2, and 3 inside the triangle add up to 180 degrees. And this will work for any triangle. We could do this on the other two up here also. We're not going to, but we could. So it shows that that's why the three angles in a triangle add up to 180. Moving on. So, like we said, I want you to underline the word sum. Okay? And put a little thing out here and put a plus. Sum means add. Okay? So the sum of the measures of three angles of a triangle is 180 degrees. Now, I'm telling you right now, because this is going to be a problem later on, if you'll get confused, the angles add up to 180. This has nothing to do with the sides. So once we start talking about sides of a triangle, we're not going to say the sides are equal to 180 degrees. Sides are measured in inches, feet, miles, kilometers, millimeters. No angles. Okay? When you measure a shape with a ruler, you don't measure angles, you measure length. So I just want you to keep this in mind, because there's always a problem with this topic. Once you start setting things at 180, you want to do it all the time. I'm just warning you right now. So this is very simple math right here. We know 180 degrees. Now think about it this way. I give you 180 degrees to go shopping. And you go to a little strip mall. And in the strip mall, there's 3 stores. And I tell you, you have to spend all $180 between these 3 stores. Well, if you go to the first store and spend $50, and you go to the second store and you spend $80, you have spent $130. Right? Okay? Well, if you spend $130 and you have $180 to spend, all you do is subtract 180 minus 130, and that tells you you have $50 to spend here. So all you do is add the 2 angles you got and subtract from 180. So for example, 70 plus 55 equals 125. And then 180 minus 125 is 55. So that's this angle right here. All right? So we have two angles, 70 and 40. So we're going to add 70 plus 40 because sum is add. 7 plus 4 is 11, 110. That means I have spent $110. I have 180 to spend. 180 minus 110 is 70. 70 degrees. All right? So what do we have here? We have 130 plus 25. We add those together. That's going to give us 155. If we do 180 minus 155, that gives us 25. Now, hopefully you noticed something about all these triangles so far. All these triangles have had two angles the same. All right? 50 and 50, 55, 55, 70 and 70, 25 and 25. That's going to come in handy soon. But this one's different. In fact, this one's very different because we only have one number, sort of. One of the numbers is in disguise. It's wearing a costume. It's down here. We know that symbol, that red symbol there, is the 90-degree symbol. So that's 90 degrees. So we're going to add 90 plus 30 to get 120. Find the third angle. We take 180 minus 120 to get 60. And that's the missing angle right there, 60 degrees. Okay, now, here's where it starts getting confusing. You'll get mixed up. So you think about it. I want you to pay attention. It's already in all caps. I want you to put a box around it. We're talking about angles. Now, how many degrees are in a triangle? 180 degrees total. I want you to write that in there too, to remind yourself that that's the total number of angles. Now, this first triangle here is a cute little guy. Why is it a cute little guy? Because all the angles in the triangle, all three of these, if you look at them, they're all less than 90. So this is an acute triangle. Now, this one over here, bam, look at that big boy. That's an obtuse angle. Well, an obtuse angle, there can only be one. Okay, you can't have more than one obtuse angle in a triangle. It's impossible to build. So therefore, this is an obtuse triangle. And last but not least, we have this special little symbol here, which is a right angle, which makes it a right triangle. Okay, so now we're classified by the side lengths. Okay, the sides here. I want you to make a note. This has to do with length. Length of the sides. Okay, not angles. All right. Now, in this first shape, if you look at this, oops, I want you to mark it like this. All three sides have different measurements. That's why I use 1, 2, and 3 hash marks. All right. This shape right here, this triangle, is called scalene. All right? Scalene means 3 different measurements. Now, in this shape here, these two are equal, and the base is different. In this shape, it's called isosceles. It's actually pronounced isosceles, but I like to say isosceles to remember there's that C in the middle. It's an isosceles triangle. That means two sides the same. And then this bad boy over here, all three sides are equal. It's a pretty easy word if you think about it. All three sides are equal, therefore it is equilateral. And lateral means side. If you play football or watch football, you throw a lateral, you throw it off to the side. Okay? Now at the end. So it literally means equal sides. Equilateral. Okay, write an equation to find the value of x. Then plug in the value to find each one. Okay, well, we know all three angles of a triangle add up to 180. So we're just going to literally do x plus 62 plus x plus 71 plus 49. There's my first angle, my second angle, and my third angle. So, x plus x is 2x. 62 plus 71 plus 49 is 182. Now, some of you might be thinking there's a problem here, but we talked about this already in the last unit. We are going to subtract 182. And yes, we're going to get a negative number here. And that's okay. 2x equals negative 2. When I divide by 2, x is negative 1. That's all right. We've had this happen already. We've had negative x's. But when we plug them in, the angles are okay. That's all that we worry about. Sorry, there should be negative there. So negative 1. Well, all I'm going to do is plug in negative 1 here. So 62 plus negative 1 is 61. I'm going to plug in a negative 1 here. 71 plus negative 1, or minus 1, is 70. C is very easy, because it was already done for us. Now, it's not on here, but I'm going to do it yet. I'm going to do 61 plus 70 plus 49 on my calculator. Guess what? They equal 180 degrees. That means I know I did it right. Now, classify by its angles. Well, all three angles are less than 90, so that means it is an acute triangle. Okay? Now, since this is getting ahead of us, but since all three measurements are the same, different on the angles, guess what we know about the sides? They're also going to be different. So this is going to be scalene. 3 different measurements on the angles, 3 different side measurements. All right. So this one, same idea, except this one has a hidden number here. It's 90 degrees. So we're going to do the same thing. 4x minus 8 plus 3x plus 14 plus 90 equals 180. 4x plus 3x is 7x. 90 plus 14 minus 8 is 96. I'm going to subtract 180 from 180 and get 84. 7x equals 84. And now when I divide by 7, I will get 12. So that's my x. I'm going to plug 12 in here. 12 times 4 is 48. Minus 8 is 40. I'm going to plug 12 in here. 12 times 3 is 36. Plus 14 is 50. I know this is 90. Well, if you look at that real quickly, that adds up to 180. So, by my angles, it is a right triangle. And again, since all three numbers are different, so are the sides. That's going to be scalene. That's it.